In this video, I'm going to be presenting a quick PowerPoint presentation for the Coursework 2 planning, which is design improvements in the future. Um, so to start off with is expand the dialogue system, the dialogue options, expand the conversational capabilities between the NPC and the player, provide a bigger variety in terms of what the NPC would like to order, and change the dialogue depending on the NPC. So in the future, what I have in mind basically is for the first point, sort of add more flavor to the actual dialogue rather than it being a little bit dry at the moment. It's very simple, nothing exciting. Uh, as well as provide a bigger variety. So at the moment, like only sort of the burger works when it collides with the NPC, but in the future, also apart from just fries and soda, I'm planning to add a lot more other food items and change dialogue depending on the NPC. So the thought behind this is basically there's gonna be like multiple different NPCs that are gonna enter the restaurant, and basically each of them are gonna have a sort of bit different attitude. One NPC could be a bit more cheery, which will be shown through the dialogue as well as maybe the animation, while the other NPC could be a bit more grumpy, and sort of the dialogue would differ between these two. Improve the food delivery mechanics. So at the moment, it's very bare bones, I would say. Sort of you just click a button and the burger spawns in. However, in the future, what I would like to have is like actual dispensers. So like the soda machine, if you click on it, there would be maybe like a progress bar or a visual cue like the soda machine shaking, basically showing that the player has to wait a few seconds for the soda to be ready, or click like a button in the back to basically request like a burger, sort of simulate sort of the other stuff in the restaurant making it, and include a bigger variety in the menu. So like I previously mentioned, add a lot more options to choose from. Sort of the idea behind that as well is sort of rather than being pre-written what each NPC wants, I'd preferably like it to have it randomized so the NPC doesn't always request the same thing, but that's sort of will be seen in the future about the implementation of that, and might include eating in or takeaway features. So that is basically like a simple mechanic where the player has the option to sort of ask the NPC, the customer, if they like to eat in or take away. And if they choose, for example, eating in, rather than putting the food in the bag, you would put it on like a platter, and vice versa. Basically, for takeaway, you put the food in the bag and give it to the NPC. UI and HUD, so improve the visual and mechanical aspects of the UI. So at the moment, the UI is very bare bones as well, especially with the dialogue, sort of simple text, simple colors, simple background as well, which could definitely use some improvements, and as well a lot of other aspects for the UI could be added as well. Include harder features such as sprint bar, number of customers, etc. So at the moment there aren't really any hard features. Well, sorry, correction. There are, but these are for character, sort of the player movement and camera uh, movement and other stuff like that. What I'm planning to add in the future is other sort of related to the project, to the Unity project stuff, so such as like how many customers are currently in the restaurant, or sort of each customer might have like a patience bar, so preferably the player would need to like run from one spot to another to make sure to get to all the customers. Animations, adding a bigger variety of different animations. So at the moment, there are only 4 animations, so hopefully actually expand that, as well as implement animations to reflect from the previous point, sort of each customer's like personality, fix animations with missing textures and any other issues. So at the moment, this more applies to Unity, not exactly Motion Builder. However, in the future, any problems would appear. Obviously, like with the animations, either be it the texturing or the animation not playing appropriately, these will be have to handled with. Improve the current animation handling for smoother animation transitioning. So this also applies a lot to Unity. At the moment, what I just have implemented is there isn't like so for example, when the player goes to sit down, there isn't like an exact animation for like they are started to kneel down, and then they say it sort of just goes from the walking animation to the sitting one, which still works because the NPC still goes through that action, which is visible. However, adjustments could be made, such as the speed at which they do it. General improvements and bug fixes. Fix the bugs related to the NPC animation of face in the right direction. So, like in the previous video, this obviously has to be fixed because it's a little bit weird when the NPC is moonwalking towards the table. But yeah, this is basically one of the bugs that will have to be fixed. Improve player movement and camera navigation for ease of use. So at the moment, while the player movement isn't so bad, it is actually manageable. The camera navigation, I feel like that's gonna need some improvements, and make sure that would actually work along with the player using the mouse cursor to click on NPCs and on different orders and stuff. And finish placing down assets in this in the level. So obviously, well, not one of them on not one of the top priority stuff. Uh, Obviously, it would be very nice to have the level actually sort of feel a bit more alive, with a bit more buildings rather than like a few buildings here and there, and sort of open plain fields. Sort of it would give it a bit more charm. And that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.